I haven't got a message. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first session of Combined Social Ventures Career Series. We're very happy to have you here. I'd just like to introduce CSV, Combined Social Ventures, to you. CSV is a association of alumni from the Jeevaning Gurukul and CRISP fellowships that are held every summer at the University of Oxford. Some of us here have come together to work on education, especially for students in STEM, with a focus on girls. And we have designed a webinar series so that more people can participate. And we're going to bring you a monthly edition. So look out for the next dates. Today is the first one in that series, and we have a fabulous executive coach, leadership coach, and speaker, Suparna Kapoor, here with us, who is also a CRISP alumni. And Suparna is the founder of LQ, Leadership Learning Life. She's an engineer. She studied from IIT BHU, and then she has a 30-year career in engineering and aerospace, and she moved into executive education till recently when she found her true calling and set up LQ. And so here we are with her, and she's going to share her learnings and insights. And this is a series, so please do come to the next one so that you can build on the information that you receive here today. So thank you, and over to you, Suparna.
Thank you, Smita. Thanks for that introduction. And once again, welcome to all of you to the CSV series. And I hope I'm audible, visible. Yes, anybody can say yes or put it in the chat so that we know that our voice is reaching you. Yes, anyone? Are we audible? Oh, yes. Thank you, Swapna. Thanks for that. So welcome to this. As Smita said, this is the first of the 6-part series that we have planned, and we will be doing this month on month. But today's session is about not so much about, though I've spent many, many years in technology, but today's session is not so much about technology as about you. And that is why the session is called Know Yourself and Design Your Future. So just give me a moment. I'll just share my slides. So Smita has already spoken about me and CSV. And before we started, very warm welcome to all of you on this program, which will focus on self-awareness so that we have better clarity when we are making our career choices, as we've seen from the Google Forms that you have filled here, that many of you are in your engineering careers, some of you in other STEM careers, and very few of you are from the management. And most of you are making choices for your career, which will design the way your career will move in years to come. So this session is about that. And this session will help you figure out what truly fits you and not what people are expecting from you, or what we say sometimes there's a trend that is going on. So what really is the kind of career that will help me thrive the best? Because as Smita was telling, one of the things that I focus on these days, how can we live our own potential? So the entire session today is about how can we enhance our potential when we are making our career choices. And the core message here is that the future isn't found by default. It is created by design. It is created by design through awareness and action. And of course, there are multiple challenges that we will face as we move along in our careers. But what the amount of time we invest in ourselves and designing that will help us ensure that some of those challenges are met. So since we are talking of challenges, I would like some of you to put what do you think is the biggest challenge that you feel exists when it comes to career and career choices? You can put it in the chat. We will have a look at that. Anything that you feel are your biggest challenge when it comes to career choices. It could be information, um, it could be skills, it could be any of those things that is possible, and many more. So just put it down there. Okay. Sandhya, you could help me with some of what people are putting in there.
Here, Suparna, I think Amita said confusion on what career to choose.
Okay, so there's a lot of confusion, and the whole session is about how do we clear that confusion so that we can reach a point of clarity. And definitely by the end of session, we'll also have you bringing in your thoughts. And if there are still some doubts coming in, we'll be happy to answer those doubts.
I think we have one more, a couple of more, now that the ice is broken. Janaki Ram says, what if we fail with our choice?
Okay.
And there's Vivo, maybe we would love to know the
Yes.
actual name, not
Name.
very good at a specific domain, how to choose one as a career.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Right. Thanks, Sandhya, for this. Um, and these are, so the questions that we are seeing are some related to skills, some are related to on our inherent fears and doubts, and some are related to domain expertise, and there could be many more. I mean, I'm sure there are many more that is going in people's head. So moving forward, my next question, and this can be a poll, Sandhya can help me with the poll. If your idea of your career was a symbol or a shape, what would it be and why? And we can launch the poll one. You can fill in your choices. You can take a minute, read each of the choice has a reason why that shape is relevant. Okay. Compass, very interesting. Spiral. Constant learning and evolution. Okay, great. So others, please do put in your choices. Spiral. Okay. Maximum votes are for the spiral. Interesting. We can take another 30 seconds and then end the poll, probably. Triangle. And believe me, there are no right and wrong choices here. Everything is right here. Whatever you feel fits best to you, that's the right answer. So another 10 seconds and we'll end the poll. Okay, test. So we have so we can see the results out there. We have the maximum votes for spiral. That means I want to grow through constant learning and evolution. That's fantastic. Triangle, I'm high and like building very strong foundations. And the compass is the other one. I want purpose and direction in my career. So these are the top three that we can see here. Any one of you who's put a spiral, anybody would like to speak up? Or if you want to put in the chat, even that is okay, but we would like that somebody speaks up.
Satvika, you can unmute yourself and speak up as well. Thanks for chiming in.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Satvika, go ahead.
So, usually I observe that when I try to learn something, I can't start with a point where I usually start where everybody starts. Sometimes it starts with projects where I start a project and I learn something slowly, where I explore. But sometimes it's about like a predefined path, but mostly I learn things by exploring and yeah.
Okay, thank you, Satvika, for sharing. And that's fantastic that you learn through exploration. And that's why you've put the spiral as a choice. Anyone else, the person who had put triangle, would you like to share and say something? Okay. And you can also put in the chat if you don't want to, you're feeling lazy and you don't want to talk and share. That's also perfectly fine. You can just put a word out there in the chat. Yes, Oppo, you would like to speak something? Okay. So just taking on from where Satvika said that sometimes she kind of questions whether that is the right way of doing a particular thing that she learns through projects, and whereas people take up a defined path. I would just like to share a story. Sandhya, can you make the slide, move the slide? I know the slide is not going to the next one. Yeah, thanks. So this story is called The Animal School, and it is a story of a forest where as we know that in a forest there are a lot of animals that are part of the forest, and the king of the forest, that's the lion, he decided that he needs to start an animal school so that all the animals learn the skills that are relevant for them to be able to survive well, both in the forest and outside of the forest. So the school was started to teach 4 skills, and each of the animals who were in the forest, living in the forest, had to learn minimum of 2 skills. They had to be good at minimum of 2 skills, and they had to know a little bit of the other 2 also. So what are these 4 skills? One was running, one was swimming, the other was flying, and the 4th one was climbing trees. Now, the duck and the fish, they were very good in swimming. But when they had to pick up another second skill in which they had to become very good, they thought that let us try and see if we can do climbing. But they miserably failed in it. In fact, the duck hurt her webbed feet, and she actually uh, had to cut back on her swimming because her feet were hurting. The rabbit was very good at running, but when the rabbit was asked to swim, the rabbit failed miserably, and it got so scared that even his running became much, much slower. And the same was the story with all the other animals. The eagle was extremely powerful when it came to flying, but any of the other skills it was unable to do. And over a period of time, all the animals actually lost the ability of their core strength that they were gifted with. And also along with that, they lost their confidence because each of them was trying to fit in into a particular structure that was defined for them without knowing and staying true to their own strengths. So any one of you, what is the message from this story that I just shared? And it's a very famous folklore. You can find it on the internet. What speaks to you about this story? Any one of you. You can put it in the chat. You can open the mic and speak up. Why this story and why now?
Good evening, ma'am. I'm
Yeah.
Shravani. In
Yeah.
this case, in this story, it was about the abilities of different animals, and here they were trying to test whether they can try the other skills also. But it is not similar. I think it in our case because we were not experts in one skill also. So I need some explanation regarding the story. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? And we'll go ahead and explain the confusion that you have regarding the story. And why do you think that you are not an expert in any particular skill? Can I ask you?
Uh, as we were students and young aspirants for and we were seeking jobs, and I think I'm not an expert in any particular domain, and I
Mhm.
was trying to fit in the domain data science in which I am
Okay.
pursuing my degree in currently.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking this question, and
Okay.
I was confused about this also. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're confused about this. Okay. So what I hear from what you are saying is that you are not so sure on what your core strength or your core skill is. Is that what I'm hearing? And you're trying to actually fit in into whatever is the subject that you have actually taken, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Each one has their own way of reaching the goal. Absolutely. Thank you, Satvika, for that. And from that, probably the next question would be that uh, all of us are actually trying to reach a particular goal. All we are trying to do is become a best version of our own self. And it is really, really difficult to do that when we are copying something or blindly following a trend. Um, and why I'm saying that, and this is coming from a lot of experience that I've had over the years and a lot of people that I've spoken to, including students. And most of the time, the challenge is that, as just mentioned, we are not aware what our core strength or core skills are. And when I'm saying core strength and core skill, it is not only in terms of the subjects that we study, but also inherently there, each one of us has a something that is very unique to us. So how do we identify something that is so unique to us and then build careers around that strength that we have? And a little bit of clarification, because that was the question that was asked, I would like to place here that can we think beyond a job and think as a career? Because when we are thinking of only one job, we are very, very narrow focus. But when we are thinking of a career, a job is just a starting point for that career. Career is something which is long term, something that we are thinking 5 years or 10 years down the line. Who do we want to become? What are our dreams? What are the goals that I'm looking at? And what is the context in which I'm going to fulfill some of these uh, some of these dreams and goals that I hold so close to myself. And that is what we want each one of you to think, because when we build based on a little long-term career choices and knowing ourselves, then we can actually, because careers are not, they're not 100-meter dashes. It's not a 100-meter race. It's a marathon. And if we design our careers as marathons, then we know what strengths we need to build, what stamina that we need to have, how my pace needs to change along the path of the career, and also awareness of the context. Who are the others that who are running along with me? What is changing around me? And based on that, what I need to change. And that is the place that we would like you to kind of make a internal mental shift from a job to a career, because career is long term. When I'm looking at job, it is a very quick fix, a small narrow focus, and that can restrict us. So that is the whole point of this conversation that we are trying to have with you. And we will also, as we go along, we'll also tell you how you can continue to take the support to be able to fulfill those career aspirations that you have for your own self. So most of the time we think of some power that will come to us from the outside world. That could be the power of knowledge, that could be the power of technology, that could be power of people. But the biggest power that we have is our own power, our own internal superpowers. And these are the powers, as we saw in the animal school story example. These are the powers that are unique to each one of us, that are inherent in us. But in the process of uh, sometimes in the process of socializing, sometimes in the process of education, we kind of lose touch with some of these inherent strengths that we have. And today's session is just a very quick reminder of who we are and what are the strengths that we have. Uh, Moving to the next one. Sandhya, could you change the slide for me?
I think Suparna, you probably have to do it. I don't have access to the slides.
Okay. Actually, it's not moving. I'll stop the share and I'll try to share.
Are you sharing,
Yeah,
Suparna?
I'll share. Yeah, there's some glitch happening. Okay, so if you have a piece of paper and a pen, I just want you to draw this Venn diagram for yourself, where one of the zones is your zones of your strength and your passion. The other is your goals and your dreams. And the third is the context. And I'll tell a little more about the context. But first, I'll want you to take a minute and just draw these 3 circles for yourself. It's a very simple, basic Venn diagram studied in probably class 3 or class 4. And this will help us clarify the strengths that we are talking about. And I'll just give my example here so that it becomes a little more clearer. And sometimes I wish somebody would have done this exercise with me when I was your age, and I was as unsure about the careers choices as you are today. Because at that time I did not realize that one of my strengths and passion lies in people. I did my engineering. I'm an electronics and communications engineer. And more than half of my career I spent in core engineering without really realizing that my strength and passion lies with people. My strength and passion lies with in interpersonal relationships, in communication. That's where my core lies. And I understood it much, much later in my life. And when I started my career journey, my goals and dreams were very, very fuzzy. I had no idea, like most of you here, it was just a job. I never thought of a career. How would I like a career to be built? And I'm pretty much sure that others, maybe Sandhya, Smita would resonate with what I'm saying, because that's how most of us start. And that's the whole purpose, that can we, through our own experience, influence some of you to see it differently than what we saw, because we've made certain errors which has made us much wiser today. So I had no clear idea of what are the goals and dreams that I'm looking for. It was just finding a job and then just cruising along in the job. And if I would have known where I want to reach 10, 15, 20 years down the career, maybe my life trajectory would have been different. Not that I'm saying that it's not been good, it's been great, but it could have been different. And the context in today's environment, the context is constantly changing. Technology is evolving at a very fast pace. AI, as most of you have written, AI is something that is both powerful as sometimes it's scary too. The context is also about what the market sometimes demands from us. But underlying all of that context, there is another context, that even though technology is the super considered to be the superpower today, the biggest gap that we are seeing in the industry, and this is coming from research, is what we call the human skills in people, the skills of emotional management, the skills of emotional resilience, the skills of interpersonal relationships, ability to work in teams. And this is what the context is throwing us for us. And are we aware of that context, or is the focus only on one bit of the context, which probably could be technology, could be AI, could be coding, could be programming, but there's a lot more bigger context that is available to us to play with. And once we have these three in place, we know what our strengths and passion are. We have at least some idea of our goals and dreams and are aware of the context. That's how we can identify what is the ideal career zone from me. And coming from my own example, now that I've realized that my strengths and passion lie here, my goals and dream is enabling other people and to influence as many professionals that I can, uh, and reach out to more numbers. And the context is, of course, what are the gaps that are available? What are the problems that businesses are dealing with? I know what is the ideal career for me, and even now, I I am I have redesigned that ideal career for my own self. But the same thing you can do at your starting point of your own journey. So I would like you to take a couple of minutes and draw this and see if you can write at least couple of strengths, couple of goals that you have for yourself, and something that is coming to you from the context. And then we can open it up for sharing. Any one of you, if you have any questions, any doubts, please, you can ask. And do let us know whether you have a pen and paper and you've started putting something out there. So I'll stop the share and I'll open for discussion and sharing. Yes. Any one of you, would you like to share if you've drawn something? If there is any doubt, something has come up for you, would you like to share?
Hi, Suparna. This is
Hi.
Sushma.
Hi, Sushma.
I have one question.
Yes.
You have mentioned strengths and passion, right?
Yes.
So what, there is our strength is different from what we are passionate about. And at
Sure.
the same time, our goal might be, some high paying jobs or landing up with some high income. But then whatever our dreams are, we are not sure whether it would really fetch that, you know,
Yeah.
uh, a high income. So maybe you might be covering it at later place, but then I just wanted to check
Yeah.
with you your
Yeah,
opinion on
sure.
this.
Sure. And when I'm saying strengths and passion, most of the time, the strengths probably could come from our knowledge also, but most of the time when something we are passionate about, there's also an inherent strength that makes us passionate about that particular thing. Or we would invest and learn something about it, right? And as about the dreams and goals, what you're asking is dream is a vague picture, but when I take action on that dream becomes a goal. So when I'm asking dreams and goals, yes, dreams exist, but have I converted into a goal? That means there is a timeline, there is a specificity into it. Uh, there's some action that I've taken around it. And that's why the dream and goal. Dreams are as important, but then have I been able to convert it into a goal? And that is why both the things I have put together. Could I answer you, Sushma?
Okay, yeah. Nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? So once we put it down there and we have some idea of what would be a good career choice for us, for example, somebody who is very good uh, in technology could look at and also has dreams about maybe starting an entrepreneurial journey or solving a complex problem, can actually look at entrepreneurship as a good career choice for their own self. You can make money. One of the questions that was asked is, my goal is probably I want to make a lot of money. Somebody who has job, one of the goals is I have a secure career available with me, or there is I want to stay around my family. Now that is something that the context is throwing up for me because my family needs him. Then the career choices that I'm making will be around some of the context that is available for us. If your strength lies in people, then probably a different kind of a role would, a different kind of a career would suit you. Maybe you would not be so good, so passionate about coding as you would be about leading teams, leading projects, becoming part of cross functional teams, some of those things. So what my strengths and passions are, what my goals and dreams are, and what is the context throwing up for me. Based on that, if I'm able to look at the various options, various opportunities that are available to us, and there are n number of opportunities that are available to us in today's environment. Even somebody who's passionate about people and also is good at technology can actually build an app that supports people who are, for example, I was reading very recently that uh, there are a lot of startups that are coming in this area of counseling using using AI. Now that's a very, very powerful area of work if you're passionate about people and you're also passionate about technology. Once we are able to identify this zone that is important for us, we need to build the zone, and using this a particular framework, which I call the idea framework. What do I need to learn to actually design and grow myself in the zone that I have identified? Where can I find the resources, the tools to learn and experiment with? Whom can I talk to or connect with? How do I engage with people? Whom can I talk? Who can support me? Who can lead me in the right direction that I want? And how will I implement whatever that I have learned? So learning is the first one. Finding the right resources, tools, and experiments to do, that's the next one. Engaging with people who can support you, direct you, mentor you, that's the next one. And how will I implement what I have learned? And this could be through small projects, this could be through small gigs that I take up, it could be through interacting with my colleagues and peers. That's how we can implement. So one action that I can take so that I can take this whole idea framework forward is a thought for you. So most of the people who are here in this session, they are coming from a STEM, and STEM gives us a lot of edge when it comes to the foundations that it builds us. For me, when I think of my own area of study, what has engineering taught me? Engineering has taught me to solve problems. Engineering has taught me to use logic and system thinking. And it has built a sense of technology and data within myself. And this is what we can actually build on. We can build on and build portfolio careers. That means we have multiple things. We can do multiple gigs. We can have internships. We can have side projects. We can have open source contributions that I'm able to make. There are a number of opportunities that are available in today's world. We can do volunteering. Again, if I am aware of what is it that is unique to me, what is my strength, where do I want to reach, and what is the context that is asking from me, I am able to design the way I want to take my career forward. And the most important thing is, can I experiment and explore? So that's what a STEM foundation helps us do. The last bit, and this is coming from my own experience, and this is a slight takeaway from what we have spoken till now. And our performance and our potential actually depends on the very inherent resources that are given to us. And these are resources which are not external. When we talk of external, there is a lot of disparity between what one person has and what other person has. These are internal resources that are available to each one of us. And these are available to us in equal proportion. None of us has more of it or less of it. And what are these resources that are available to us? The resources of our body and our brain. Almost all of us who are here have very similar resources when it comes to our body and our brains. Studies have shown that the IQs within each one of us do not really differ that much. It is how we apply that makes all of the difference. The second resource that is available to each one of us in equal proportion is the time that is available to us. Each one of us sitting here has 24 hours. None of us has more, none of us has less. So how am I actually using this resource of time that is available to us? The next very big resource that is available to us, and this comes from our brain, but this is slightly different from our brain because this is what we call the mind. And mind is made up of thoughts. So how am I using my thoughts? What are the kind of thoughts that are available to me? Are my thoughts more negative in nature? Are, as somebody was telling at the start of the session, are my thoughts focused on fear, or are my thoughts focused on success? Because wherever our focus is, the possibility of that outcome happening is much, much more higher. So am I utilizing the power of my thought, which is the most amazing resource available to us? Or am I caught in a spiral of negative repetitive thoughts that is actually stopping me from achieving my potential? So that's the next possible resource that is available to us. The third resource, and again, this is available to each one of us, is our own awareness, our focus, our attention. So where is my awareness? Where is my attention? Where is my focus? And in today's world, which is full of distractions, getting the right focus on the right thing has become a challenge, and that's the truth. But what are the habits, what are the behaviors that I have built that ensures that I have the right focus and the right attention that will enable that I am able to utilize the other resources of my mind, my body, my time, and my thoughts very, very effectively. And the last, but the very, very important resource that is available to each one of us is our energies. How am I making use of my energy? Do I know what time of the day my energy is highest and what do I do at that particular point or time of the day? How am I actually using this very powerful resource of energy that is available to us? How am I building and rebuilding my energy? Am I dispersing my energy in activities that are not leading me in the direction of my dreams and my goals? And these are the questions that there is no right answer to these questions, but these are the questions that need our attention and our focus, because sometimes when we are focused too much on the outside, what is already available with us, the internal resources that are available with us kind of get lost in the noise. And these are the resources that will enable us to make our choices, to utilize our time very, very carefully, and to design the careers and the lives that we want for our own self. And this is a resource that sometimes we need to pay attention to, because most successful leaders in the world, and you can pick up any autobiography that you want to read, it's not the outer mastery which leads them to success. It is the inner mastery which leads them to success. And this inner mastery is about the mastery of the internal resources that I have with myself. When I'm able to utilize these internal resources, the outer resource utilization becomes much, much more higher. Our performance improves and we are able to live our complete potential. So that's one thought I want you to leave with. And if you want to learn more about how do we manage our time better, how do we manage our energy better, how do we manage our thoughts better, we will be covering some of these as we go along in the next part of our sessions. But that's the thought that I want to leave you with today. So the last bit, self-awareness is the starting point. Invest in it. It's not only about a job, it's about building a career, which is a long-term exercise. Action creates clarity. Don't Dreams are important, but goals are also important. We don't need to wait to be 100% ready. We can start wherever we are and we can keep building on our skills. Reach out to the community, connect, and there's a community available. This is the CSV community that is available to you. Reach out to the community, connect and seek mentors. It could be in your college, it could be in any other community that you're part of. And that's how we keep designing and we keep growing. So that's all that I had to share today. And thank you. And if you have any questions, we are open for questions. Any doubts, please go ahead and ask and share any thoughts that are going on in your mind. Any one of you, any questions, any thoughts? And yes. And there was one question at the start, there's a fear of failure. Now, whenever we talk of success or failure, and when we start, whenever we start any new project, any new discovery, any new job, there's always apprehension. That's very, very natural. That's part of being human. But When we start something, there is a 50% chance of failure and there's a 50% chance of success. Now, what am I focusing on? And this is what I was mentioning about thoughts. Where are my thoughts leading me? Are my thoughts leading me towards failure, or are my thoughts leading me towards success? Because if I am focusing on success, then I'll find ways to be able to reach that success. And that's the utilization of the internal resources that we have. And that comes from awareness. Awareness of our thoughts, awareness of our behaviors, awareness of the focus and attention that we are paying, and awareness of the energy and how we are using the energy that is available to each one of us. So yes, you can please unmute and ask any question, any doubts. Yes, Janki Ram, would you like to ask something or share something?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for addressing the, I have asked the question regarding what if failure was happen. I am from IT background from Wizard College. Currently, we are pursuing into the BTech career and we are going to head. And I feel like somewhat we are distracted. We lost in some thoughts. We have not focused. That and addressing the issue also, you are in it's like fabulous, man. Like one line I said, what we have to do if you fail, but you give just one line answer. That by it is the experience to the success step. I think I got my answer.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Anyone else? Any question? Sandhya, would you like to say something?
Sure. Thanks, Suparna. Great session, and thanks for attending, everyone. We've looked at the forms and some of the interest. I think we have a lot of registrations, and one of the asks which came in is your areas of interest is AI, AGI. We'll also plan the next sessions based on your interest. If you have any topics you'd like to hear, you want to get your friends in, if they have some interest, do share it with us. And, this is a 6-part webinar series. We will try to incorporate your asks in those sessions. And thanks for asking the questions. It's amazing to see that all of you are engaging. So thank you very much. You've taken a great step forward.
We have another few minutes, so if anyone has any doubts, any questions, please feel free to ask. You can go to the CSV site. We have a list of people out there. And if you feel you would like anyone from the affiliates available there as a mentor, do reach out to us. We will see what we can do. And this is based again on your strengths, your area of work. Where would you like to reach? Any one of us out here and more people in the group would be happy to help any one of you. If you have any doubts, queries, questions, you need a mentor, you need support moving forward.
Yeah, so adding to what Subarna was saying, we have a network of more than 200 scholars from wide area. We have expertise, we have professors, we have IPS officers, IS people in administrative services. We have NGO practitioners. We have media people. We have scientists. So we have a wide network of expertise. So that mentoring is also one of our core area where CSV want to focus. So you can check our site, and wherever you need a mentorship, don't hesitate us to contact us. Thank you, Suparna, for the excellent session.
Thank you.
I'll just add that we're going to make the recording available on the CSV website. So for this session and future sessions, please use the CSV website as your point of or your way to connect with us. Thank you.
I see that we have our Professor John Hoffmeyer also on the call. Thanks, John. He's our professor. He was professor for most of us and a mentor for most of us who were at Oxford, both the Shivning and CRISP and Gurukul Fellows. Thanks, John. Thanks for guiding us, mentoring us, and enabling this platform for us.
Hi, John. Thanks for being here, and thanks for initiating this entire
You're all
series
wonderful, and
for
I
exercise.
enjoyed watching and listening today. So thank you.
Thank you.
We have 2 minutes more.
All right, then. Thank you. And until
Thank
the next
you.
webinar.
Bye. Thanks.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
everybody.
much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.